We have got a very relaxing session this morning. Don't worry, I'm not going to leave you feeling too comatose before you start the day, but this is where the muses are guiding me to go this week. When you are ready, please make your way onto your belly for Makrasana. Arranging yourself in a position, just lying on your tummy with your forehead resting on top of your stacked hands. So be curious about where you want to place those hands and arms in order to create comfort through the shoulders and support through the neck. And we'll bring the big toes to touch and just let the heels fall away from one another. You might like to give your hips a gentle wiggle to make sure that your lower back and pelvis are feeling well supported against the earth. We'll bring the tongue to rest against the roof of the mouth now. And begin to move the breath slowly and smoothly through the nose. Allowing your attention to drop down into the belly. Noticing the contact of your abdomen against the floor. And begin to very deliberately and actively expand your belly against the resistance of the earth as you breathe. As you inhale, allowing the belly to gently press against the earth, creating an expansion of the back and the sides of the rib cage. Allowing all of your attention to circulate within the belly and the ribs, creating a truly three-dimensional breath. Invite yourself to slow the breath down. Noticing any areas where you feel congestion or tightness, especially around the attachments of the respiratory diaphragm. If you are feeling comfortable and settled here, the invitation at the top of your next inhale is to pause for a moment, inhabiting that space of contained expansion. Perhaps drawing in another little sip of air before exhaling as slowly as you can. No tension or strain. Give yourself permission to settle into this pattern. A deep, slow, three-dimensional inhalation, the belly pressing against the earth to expand the ribs. A brief pause at the top of the inhale. Perhaps another sip of air. And an exhalation that is slow, controlled, A gentle sloping emptying of the lungs. At the end of your next long exhale, letting go of that pattern. Sliding your hands just alongside your waistline, taking your time to slowly press yourself back into child's pose. Keeping the arms stretched out in front of you, rising up onto the fingertips, and gently creeping the hands and fingers forward to traction into the shoulders. Let the rib cage and belly feel heavy. Let the collarbones drop down toward the earth. And take your time to gently walk your hands back in toward you now, arriving in an upright seat. As you arrive in your upright seat, we're keeping our awareness very much around the area of the diaphragm. I'll invite you to just take your fingers and find the very apex, the very topmost point of your rib cage, just at the bottom of the sternum. Let your belly really relax and even take a little lean forward with a lovely soft belly, and begin to really gently palpate and work the fingerprints, and depending on how long your nails are, your fingertips into the region up and underneath the rib cage. Exploring the full circumference and border of the rib cage, working your way from the front to the sides and all the way to the back. And if you encounter any areas along your exploration that feel a little bit inflamed, congested, or tight, just allow yourself to linger there, working into that congestion very gently and carefully. Letting that go now, moving into our first maneuver. This particular maneuver is one method of accessing something that we call a Valsalva maneuver. A Valsalva maneuver, by definition, is any deliberate increase in intra-abdominal, intrathoracic, or even intracranial pressure that ultimately results in a lowering of blood pressure and heart rate. This particular maneuver specifically targets the diaphragm. So we're creating, excuse me, intra-abdominal and intrathoracic pressure. And it's also excellent for any lower back issues that you might be having. It's performed by taking a calm inhale through the nose, a calm exhale through the nose, and then we pinch off the nose with the fingers and keep the mouth closed, creating an artificial inhale where we essentially expand the ribs and the belly the same way we would if we were inhaling, but without actually taking any air in, so that we're creating that internal increase of pressure. When you're ready, we'll begin. Just keep the shoulders nice and relaxed, taking a calm, smooth inhale, a calm, smooth exhale, and now pinching off your nose, keep the mouth shut, expand the ribs, Expand the belly, create that lovely internal pressure and hold. Letting it go gently. Take a very calm, relaxed inhale, a calm, relaxed exhale, and into another round. Please pinch off the nose, keep the mouth closed, expand the ribs, expand the belly, create that internal containment, and pause, and let it go gently. A very calm inhale through the nose now. Calm exhale through the nose, and pick up one more round, pinching off the nose, keeping the mouth shut, expanding the ribs, expanding the belly. Pause. Hold. Let it go calmly. And again, a very relaxed inhale and a very relaxed exhale. All right. Moving into one more preparation, a version of Stanley Rosenberg's Salamander Reset for the vagus nerve. From your seat, we're taking a gentle twist to the right. We're not seeking out any specific muscular sensation. We're just turning the torso, the shoulders to the right, and now turn your head to the left. Just enough to feel chest and shoulders have moved one way, head and neck are turned in the opposite direction. And now, without moving your head, lift your eye gaze up and to the right, finding a landmark in the room that's easy for you to land your gaze on, and just keeping your eyes resting gently on that landmark, keeping the breath moving. No tension or strain. The chest and shoulders are turning to the right, the head is turning to the left, and the eyes are up and to the right. Good, and we'll let go of the eyes, release the head, and then bring the chest and shoulders back to center. Taking that to the other side now, please, twisting chest and shoulders to the left, then turning your head to the right. And keeping the head very still, taking the eye gaze now up and to the left, finding a landmark on the wall that you can gently rest your eyes on. The eyes are just very gently focused. There's no strain. Holding this and keeping the breath moving. Chest and shoulders turning to the left, the head turned to the right, and the eye gaze up and to the left. Holding that there and breathing. Letting go of the eyes now, releasing the head, and then release the chest and shoulders. Coming to arrive in our seat, ready for breath practice now. If you are in a chair, please make sure that your feet are flat against the earth and you have good lumbar support. Likewise, if you are seated on the floor, please ensure that the legs and pelvis are well supported so that the spine can rise comfortably, easefully. We'll start with an exhalation. Moving into our reset breath, take a big boisterous inhale through the nose. Hold on to that. Take your second top up inhale and exhale through the mouth slowly. Our reset breath pattern. Again, big nasal inhale. Take your second top up nasal inhale and let that exhale out through the mouth, maybe even pursing the lips so that you have to slow the exhale right down. Again, big nasal inhale. Hold on to that. Take your top up inhale. Exhale slowly through the mouth. Please take just 2 more rounds of that breath pattern on your own. special attention on the second inhale, really letting it really fill the lungs and allowing the exhale to be as slow as possible. Good. And now bringing the tongue to rest flat against the ceiling of your mouth. Allow your jaw to relax. And come to meet your breath, moving it slowly and smoothly through the nose. The eyes can be closed, or if you prefer, you can have those eyelids just down at half mast. Sending your eye gaze very gently down in the direction of your nose. Noticing the movement of the breath within the channels of the nostrils. You might notice the cool air as it enters the nose. The slightly warmer air leaving the nose. Allow some of your attention to descend into the region of the chest where you imagine your lungs to be. What is your experience of the air as it enters and exits the lungs? Where do you sense the movement, the flow? Can you encourage your rib cage to move freely? The belly to feel soft. Can you relax through the face and the shoulders? When you are ready, please begin now to welcome your ujjayi with a very gentle hug of the windpipe toward the back of the throat. A subtle narrowing of the airway. A valve-like mechanism near the root of the tongue, allowing you to slow the breath. Becoming aware of the subtle texture and tone that the breath takes on. And using the sound and the sensation of the breath now as tools, helping you to craft the breath. creating a sound and a sensation that are very smooth, very gentle. And for now, allow yourself to settle here. A simple rising and falling of the breath. A smooth and velvety texture and tone. The steady rhythm of the inhale and the exhale. Allow yourself to become curious as to the different quality of the inhale versus the exhale. The rising, swelling ascendancy of the inhalation. The soothing, emptying, drop down of the exhalation. Allowing the borders between the inhale and the exhale to very gently brush up against one another before the tide of the breath turns. And now that we are settled, please begin to take note of how long your inhalations are this morning. Counting a few consecutive cycles of breath. And once you have ascertained where your inhale has landed, please bring your exhalation up to meet it. Keeping your mind focused on the count. Allowing your physical senses to remain engaged in the felt experience of the breath. Stay with this. Tongue rests against the roof of the mouth. The eye gaze directed gently down toward the nose. the smooth, subtle texture and sound of the ujjayi breath. The steady rhythm and count of your samavritti 1. If your mind wanders, gently and lovingly invite yourself back. Moving into our samavritti 2 pattern now, our box breathing. Begin to add a pause at the top of the inhale and another at the bottom of the exhale, so that the breath takes on a 4-dimensional pattern. Keeping each of the 4 sides of the breath even. No tension or strain. Using the ujjayi for the inhale and the exhale, and inhabiting the pauses calmly. Keep your mind anchored in the count. Allow yourself to become curious as to the different qualities of the 4 sides of the breath. The rising, filling sensation of the inhale, the space of contained expansion at the top of the inhale, the soothing, emptying feeling of the exhalation, and the peaceful vacuum, the stillness at the end of the exhale. Stay with this. Just this breath, just this moment. At the end of your next exhalation, let go of the box breathing pattern. Let go of the count and allow your breath to return to its natural, quiet state. Taking a moment to simply inhabit the space that you have created. Listening to the sounds around you. Witnessing the moment from this space of stability and ease. When you are ready, take up your Ujjayi technique once more, finding that gentle hug of the windpipe, reconnecting with the subtle, smooth sound and sensation of the breath. No counting, just presence. The smooth and easeful rise and fall of the breath. We move now into our Nadi Shodhana pattern this morning without any use of the hands to occlude the nostrils. Instead, we'll work with a very simple and sincere attention and intention in the nostrils. Stay with your Ujjayi breath. At the end of your next exhale, take attention into your left nostril. Inhaling left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Please continue this pattern on your own. The smooth Ujjayi breath. simple and sincere attention shifting from nostril to nostril. Stay with this. At the end of your next exhale through the left nostril, surrender that pattern. Once more, allow your breath to return to its natural state, shining the spotlight of your awareness on your internal terrain, and simply noticing how you have arrived here. And when you are ready, make your way very carefully onto your back for your Shavasana. Taking your time to prop yourself in whatever way you enjoy. Perhaps with a cushion beneath the knees to support the lower back. As you arrive, turn the palms of the hands to face the ceiling. Encourage the shoulder blades to lay flat, the chest to feel wide. And let the toes fall away from the heels, surrendering any gripping in the groins. This morning, as we rest, digest and absorb our practice, the invitation is to work with a simple spinal wash technique with the attention. Do not overthink this. As you lay in your Shavasana, simply draw your attention up and down the spine with each inhale and exhale. As you inhale, tracing awareness up from the tailbone to the top of the spine near the root of the tongue. And as you exhale, drawing that attention back down from the tongue to the tailbone. With each cycle of breath, coating the spine with a thick, intentional awareness. And stay with this until the sound of my voice summons you back. Allow your breath to deepen slightly now as you surrender your attention to the spine, sending awareness down the arms and legs and into the hands and feet. Rotating into the wrists and ankles. And taking a lovely yawn and a stretch. And taking whatever movements feel good in your body before very slowly and carefully curling your way to an upright seat. As you arrive in your seat, remaining for just a few more moments with your eyes closed, your attention directed inwards. Notice how you have arrived here at the end of your practice, at the beginning of your day. Reminding yourself to return to the breath anytime you feel overwhelmed, anytime you feel the call to reconnect and realign. Floating your palms to meet one another in front of your heart, or maybe just rest one hand on your chest and the other against your belly. As we punctuate the end of our session with gratitude and acknowledgement, offering our thanks for the gift of this day, our lives and our health, and extending our respects and acknowledgements to one another and to the custodians of this living tradition. As always, dear friends, my most sincere respect, gratitude, and affection to you all. Thank you so much for your company. Have a wonderful day. Reach out to me with any feedback or questions or just to say hi. So much love. Mwah. Okay, bye.